hold on.
And there we are all together at last, and she's up here playing with the bird. And now she muted herself.
Well, hey, look, I'm going to tell you real quick. If I bounce off screen for a minute, I'm trying not to be rude, but my wife said I'd finish my banana bread before I came on. So
she made banana bread?
She did, and it's lovely. It just came out the oven. So
wait.
So if I disappear for a second, I didn't die. I'm eating some bread.
No. If I can't have banana bread now, neither can you, Mr. Man.
I do have to ask this. Would this be considered a great achievement to eat this banana bread?
No, he's just enjoying himself.
Actually, considering the last 2 weeks I've had, it is a great achievement. I can eat it. And because I
what the heck?
I have to have something on my stomach. So
did you just do that?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I'm good.
Hey, it was an achievement. I appreciate it.
That's the reason why I say I'm testing out new stuff with StreamYard. So,
oh my goodness!
Since that was a success, he gets the.
All right, so talking about StreamYard for a second, I know we've got this view over here that's supposed to be like phone view, and if I go on YouTube, there are two versions of the show.
Yeah, one is particularly for the phone, and the other one is the normal.
Yeah,
but I watch it on my phone when I do.
Click normal; it'll be better for your phone if you click normal. If you click the phone view, it's going to be sucky.
Yeah, it's all vertical if you clicked on the phone version.
Yes, I was just curious about that, and I do know that 3 weeks ago, the time before when we were all on together, I tried to click on the normal view, and it said it was struck for copyright, but the phone view of the same episode was fine.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was the one that we had.
It was after that.
We got in trouble. Yeah, we got
kind of in trouble for community standards because we didn't do much commenting on the episode that we watched, the cops.
No, it wasn't the cops episode. It was after that one.
Oh, well, I don't know what.
But yeah, it was only the normal view, the phone view I could watch. I just thought that was really weird.
There was something weird on YouTube's part. Then because we
it went away.
Our lesson.
It went away because like the next day I could watch both of them, but just for a couple of hours right after the show, I could only watch the phone one. So I forgot to say something about it. That reminded me.
That was something weird going on with YouTube.
Well, with that being stated here, we're going to do one other thing, and people could voice their opinion while they watch the show here, and we got a little bitty poll that they could vote on here. What would you like to see more of? Do you want to see more comic book reviews, cartoon / movie reviews, or / discussion, TV episode reviews, or just straight industry news here? So yeah, we could do polls now.
Yeah.
Can we vote on our own poll?
Yeah, you have to go out to either YouTube or Facebook or Twitch here. They should be able to pick up on that here.
Yeah, because I already know what I'm voting for, so I just want to be sure.
How are my girls?
They may not make it.
It's like, why are you trying to change my mood? I was in a good mood.
Why are you threatening my girls?
I'm not threatening them. I'm just saying they may not make it because we had a late Easter egg hunt with some friends today, and they almost didn't make it there because their mama was about to pitch them out the car. So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they just.
I need to talk to you.
In the sleepy little town called Olive Branch. If you know where I got that from, then you've been watching too much of this one television series.
I don't know Olive Branch, so I have not.
Yes, that's where
if I replace Olive Branch with Riverdale, it would have been it would have been Archie's Weird Mysteries. All of this happening in the nice little sleepy town of Riverdale.
Yeah, Grayson has been bugging me for 2 weeks to watch this horror movie with her.
Which
one?
I
haven't had a chance to sit down and decide if I want her to watch it or not.
What's the movie?
And she's like, she's guilt tripping me about it. It's called Imaginary.
Okay, that I don't know what one.
It's
you need to watch that one first.
It's done by the same people who did some stuff that I don't know if I would let her watch.
Then you should watch it first and then make a decision.
And from the trailer, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know if I want her to watch this. So I'll have to find something else for her to watch because she's a sophisticated horror person now. She won't watch the crazy ones with me anymore.
Ooh, I should introduce her to the old classic stuff that will still gross you out if you're not careful, and will weird times will sneak up and spook you.
See, she wouldn't like the type of stuff I would like.
If you can find Fiend without a face, watch that with her. Because I saw that the first time on Smaguli, I was 9. And it's not it's not gory horrible. Just things latch onto you and suck your brain out your head.
That's what happened to her.
See, that does not sound appealing to me.
Now
I'll go back to some of the old Vincent
or the
Price
Navy versus
stuff, like
the night monster. She'll be scared of trees for a bit, but that might be a good thing.
See, my insomnia has afforded me lately to get caught up on really, really crappy horror movies. I've watched every Mickey Mouse horror movie that's come out. I did not know there were so many.
Okay.
And, oh my God,
I didn't know there were any Mickey Mouse horror films.
Yeah, because when Steamboat Willie hit the public domain, just like they did with the Winnie the Pooh horror movies, they made a whole bunch of Mickey Mouse ones. And I watched all 3 parts of The Legend of Jack and Jill.
Okay.
Which was bad. Like, they didn't even bother to bring the same actors back each movie. They knew it was that bad. Jack and Jill were really different people. Every part, Jack and Jill were 2 different people. I was like, oh, wow. Okay.
In other words, the actors said, hey, you haven't locked us down to a multiple movie deal. Baby, we out.
Now it's like you gave us an Amazon gift card and some Starbucks. We're out.
Amazon gift card. I'm up here. It's like you gave I thought it was like you gave us a meal. You gave us a meal and SAG credit. I'm out. I got my Subway sandwich and my SAG credit. I'm out.
I'm pretty sure the people who made this can't even spell SAG. So
that's just sad.
Yes. Oh.
Well, I have a book review.
You want to go into it right now?
Yeah.
Or you want to hold
Oh,
off here because I don't have much to say about Hoodwink, but Hoodwink kind of reminded me of some of the things that happened here.
Oh, okay.
They're kind of like
well,
the non-stereotypical. It's like, oh yeah, this is supposed to be Little Red Riding Hood, but on crack. It was literally, it's like it was not the normal tale of Little Red Riding Hood. It was like
No.
some other detective story that involved everybody. Like
no,
Big Bad Wolf wasn't the Big Bad Wolf. He was just a very, 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 if I can say, pushy reporter.
now Mike and I took our oldest to go see Hoodwinked in theater. That's how old she
Mm-hmm.
is.
Okay.
And I remember sitting there thinking, this is supposed to be a child's version of The Usual Suspects.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and
Basically,
it
it's the
was,
Yes,
usual
yes, it
suspect
it
for
was.
was,
children.
I was like, wow, this is really weird.
And I'm
Uh,
sure in the pitch meeting, that's how it was like. It's like the usual suspects, and the producer leaned in, but for children. And then the producer sat back and went, "What?"
It was crazy. And then my boy Twitchy. They had to give my boy Twitchy some coffee. And the
Wow.
big bad one was like, it's like, what are we waiting for? It's like, just wait for it. Just wait for it.
Da-da, da-da.
Twitchy became the Flash in like 3 seconds. All the devastation behind him was just like ridiculous.
I think it is. I think it is.
mm-mm.
It's like you don't give somebody that has a hyperactive mentality the most highly caffeinated coffee ever
Yes, you do.
and expect them to be normal.
Oh no, you don't do that. But if you're looking to cause pure chaos, you know, let's see if we can
No,
burn
they
down.
was expecting him to be like super fast because he was very hyperactive, and when he gets to his hyperactivity, he was like bouncing off the walls and stuff.
Yes, and
Yeah,
then
it's like we need to get this over to this. We need to get this information over to this person, but we need to do it fast. It's like they'll be too far. They'll be too far gone if we try to go after them now. It's like you got some coffee.
let's create CoffeeZilla.
They're like Twitchy. Take this. I forgot what the frog's name was in this movie, but take this to the frog. It's like you understand. It's like yeah, take this to the frog. This, that, and the other. Oh, by the way, have some of this.
Bing, bing,
Man.
bing. Ricochet Rabbit.
Oh, it was worse than Ricochet Rabbit.
Yeah, because Ricochet Rabbit never went stupid in all his bing, bing, bings.
No, it's like he wasn't stupid, but Ricochet Rabbit did not leave wakes of destruction behind him at that speed.
If Ricochet did that to you, you had it coming.
When he
Yeah,
finally got up to old Frog, the frog that was the lead detective,
Yeah, the one he was supposed to deliver the
he
information
was
to.
going so fast and talking so fast that they had to take a tape recorder, record him,
And then slow
and
it down.
slow it down to 1/10 speed to understand him. And what is so messed up is like Twitchy had kind of like a squeaky voice, but when they slowed it down to 1/10 speed, it was clear English, like somebody that was doing a lecture. The man you have been seeking has been back at the cottage. You might want to turn around and go and get him.
Before I forget, Cliff, check out Greg Simpkins' art. He um, he does some amazing pieces, and he just finished a piece on villains. And it's
okay.
interesting to watch it and try and figure out who all the villains are
All right. Let me,
as he's drawing
Greg.
them. Simkins Simpkins art,
Hmm?
or just Greg Simpkins. I'll send you the link to his page later. I'll put a
Okay.
link
Oh,
to him
I'm
in.
pulling it up on the Google machine right now,
He's
but I
based
can't.
in LA. He started doing street art graffiti and whatnot. And he was one of those fortunate artists that got picked up by galleries. And now hey, Leah.
Yep. She's
Leah's in
here.
the house.
Yep.
He
Don't
started
forget to answer the poll here. We got a poll going here for we can figure out what people want more of when it comes to comic book spectrum here. So it's right there on the screen here. You can vote anytime during the show.
Yeah.
Well, but speaking of one of the our poll options is actually something I came across before I came in here. That's sort of a bit of industry news, and since Joe, you were way more of a Spider-Man person than I am, I thought this would be something that I could ask. You might have heard about or may want to know about. You know, they're doing the build up to Amazing Spider-Man 1000, right?
Right.
Well, the big scuttlebutt around the industry now is they're going to introduce a new member to the Peter Parker's family. It's going to be they're either going to introduce a child that no one knew that Uncle Ben and Aunt May had, since Aunt May's about to die in the comics again.
Yeah, for the 14th time.
Or they're going to go back to a storyline Mark Miller wrote and dropped when he left. They dropped when he left the book, and that is that Richard Parker, Peter's dad, had an affair with May, and May is actually Peter's real bio mom.
Oh, good.
So apparently, those are the big thing. Is there's something with the actual Parker family tree is one of the big things for the lead up to Amazing Spider-Man 1000.
Doggos is not an option here. I'm not going to say my professional opinion, both as an editor in chief and as a writer. Simplest solution is the best solution here. Since there's still a big mystery about, Peter's mom and father, it would just be easier just to say that Peter has an unknown brother or unknown sister.
That would make more sense.
He apparently did have a sister for like a hot minute, and then she got like retconned. So,
but I'm saying that would make more sense than this comes off like a really bad soap opera. I'm sorry. It's just it comes off some really crappy soap opera stuff. Late night soap opera or some Real Housewives type of crap.
Yeah,
Trouble. That was, I couldn't think of the thing that Mark Miller had something to do with.
Yeah, but the whole fact of the matter is that a lot of these writers that coming on do not want to go back in history to use the stuff that has been done, or they want to write their own version, so they have to retcon a lot of stuff instead of playing within that sandbox and being truly creative to make it work. I mean, again, Peter really doesn't know too much about his dad or his mom because of the simple fact of what originally was written in Amazing Spider-Man history. They were pretty much, their lives were pretty much unknown to Peter. So pretty much, he could have like extra brothers and sisters that he would have never known of because of the way that, especially with Richard being almost kind of quasi shield as far as the science side is concerned. We don't know.
Right. And was his mom a shield agent also, or was it just the dad?
I think mom was a shield agent, dad was the scientist. And that's what I say. It's like with dad being a scientist that kind of had shield backing, it could have been a lot of stuff that he could have got into that Peter never would know about. Like he could have had multiple half brothers and half sisters,
and they could have sent him to May and Ben to keep him safe if they were shield. they would have sent him to
Well,
stay with his
depending
aunt
on
and
which
uncle
story
for
arc, it's
safety.
like either he was dead or he was in jail, one or the other.
But what I'm saying is, no matter what, they sent Peter
Hmm.
to stay with his aunt and uncle as a safety precaution. No
Hmm.
matter what, Peter was sent off because obviously, being if one of those parents was alive and they had worked for or simply with Shield, that would put a target on them. And if it was known that they had kids, well, that would put a
Hmm.
target on the kid. So let the kid grow up in anonymity, you know, where he may have a chance. He may not be grown up in a lap of luxury, and it would have been nice if they could have sent a few bucks. But at least he was out of any immediate danger. But obviously, connection to weirdness just sort of, you know, sent him into that direction.
Well, there was a lot of things that I kind of wish that they would talk more about dealing with Spider-Man, but again, some of the stuff was done in kind of like what ifs or one shots, and they were never canon,
Oh,
such
okay.
as such as um such as Uncle Ben. There's a lot of things that we don't know about Ben,
Hmm.
and if Ben stayed alive, I think Peter would have took a different route with
Hmm.
being Spider-Man.
Yeah, I have wondered, just the writer in me wondering, if Ben had survived, would Peter have become Spider-Man? And it's like, no, I think he would have anyway. I just think it would have been maybe a little different. And I think
He
he
would have
would have,
been different. He
he
would have
would
been
have
a
been,
different type of Spider-Man.
and also I think this is something he wouldn't have hid from Ben not too long. I think Ben was sharp enough, he'd have figured it out. Eventually Ben would have figured it out and confronted him. And then, and would have sat down and wanted to make sure he was at least going on a path that was not likely to. He was kind of in that weird, well, yeah, people loved their friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but he still had enemies like Jameson and whatnot. Um, I think his uncle would have just sat down and just wanted to make sure that, you know, of his trajectory.
Well, it also would have been also a different cultural difference too, because Ben would have been able to talk about his own dealings with coming into manhood and doing these types of things. Because you have to be mindful that Peter, in a weird way, his father figure after Ben's death was Robbie Robinson. People keep forgetting that, but
Well,
that goes
no, I
And
never
way back
forgot
in
that,
and
history.
but I also think,
Captain Gwen
in
Stacy's
regards
dad too.
as a
Mm-mm.
father
He
figure.
no, he kept it from Gwen's dad for the longest. It wasn't until Gwen's dad figured it out on his own that he came clean.
I'm talking about more of the father figure role because
It was
he
Robbie.
was a bit of a father figure to Peter for a while in the books too.
Hmm.
But I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, not as much as Robbie was in a lot of them. But yeah.
But I like the fact that Robbie was kind of the father figure for him.
Hmm.
That it was because Robbie seemed to, he never said you're Spider Man, but he seemed to figure out what was going on, and it was like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and preach at you, but I will do what I can to guide you along to what I think is the better path. And I kind of like that in the character. He wasn't trying to come out here, boy, let me tell you what to do. It was okay, you gonna make your choices. I just think, you know, but that's just me. That's just
Blaine
me.
has to do the rest of the show in that voice now.
Yes, it's like because you're making me think about everything that goes on in his history. Because Robbie, to me, was the perfect father figure. Because I go back to the stories like when Robbie Robinson got jailed. Peter went through hell and high water to get him out, to
Yeah,
find some type of legal representation, to find all these different clues to try to get him out. But technically, he was still guilty. He was still guilty of one small part of everything that they was trying to convict him on. Peter tried his best to paint him a victim of circumstances.
I don't. I wasn't reading the books at that time, so I don't know that situation.
No, but it's just weird. But if they're going to come out with another member of the Parker family, it'd just be easier just to say, hey, we don't know what truly happened with his father, and this person could be a half brother or something to that magnitude. I mean, we don't want Clone Saga anymore. We don't want to have like another Ben Reilly situation.
Now, speaking of Ben Reilly, talking about everything with the way Peter would be if he was raised by Ben. Have you read up until they dropped the ball with it what they were doing with Ben Reilly in the books?
Only thing I know that he kind of left the path that was established by Spider-Man. She's waving and everything.
Mrs.
Huh?
Oh,
Mrs.
Hey,
Cliff.
Micah. Elaine's waving at you. Yeah.
She's walking in the back.
But it was interesting. They dropped the ball with it because it got sucked up into a crossover event like most things do. But Ben, due to this company he started working for as their official Spider-Man, and the experiments they were doing on him was losing his memories that he shared with Peter. So you were getting to see a Spider-Man or a Peter Parker who did not have that grounded upbringing from May and Ben and the lessons he learned through that time. And I thought it was really interesting. And it may, since they outright said it, they said, since Miles Morales exists, Ben Reilly is redundant. We need to do something with him. And I thought this was a really interesting way to make him a villain. But I'm pretty sure they dropped it, though. And now he's just a villain of the week.
He really wasn't a villain. Because if you truly think about the storyline, it's like all of that led up to the creation of Hallows' Eve.
Right. And Ben Reilly,
if it wasn't for the character who was Hallows' Eve, who was his girlfriend at the time, finding those mystical masks, we wouldn't have got the Ben Reilly that you're talking about right now. And where they dropped the ball is that they developed her more so than Ben Reilly. Ben Reilly became kind of like more like just a plot point for her story.
Right. And also he no longer is trying to get his memories back the last time I saw it. I'm like, this was a good story. Why did you didn't have to drop this? But yeah, that it goes along with what you said about how would Peter Parker be if he was raised differently. And that was an example of it. But also, the reason the missus came by here is talking about Spider-Man. Our anniversary just happened. And she got me, I collect the retro Spider-Man animated figures that Hasbro's redoing. She got me the Hypno Hustler.
Oh, no.
With his afro and his jumpsuit and his pink guitar.
Wow. Oh, my God. Black Elvis.
I am so happy. I have
that's a rarity because I don't even remember when that originally came out back in the day in the 90s.
I'm gonna get you, sucker Spider-Man.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, I love. I don't collect a lot of figures and leave them in the package, but these retro figures, the packaging is so nice and so well done. I can't. So all the Spider-Man stay in their package, and I may have to buy a Hypno Hustler that's loose though, because we don't have a concert. We don't have a concert later.
That's who it is, Hypno Hustler.
Yeah.
See, now you're making me want to go back and track down my copy of What If Rick James Was the Hulk. I just like Rick James as the Hulk as told by Dave Chappelle.
Oh goodness, no. Oh. I
just got it's like just have Charlie Murphy tell that couch story, and instead of just being Rick James, he actually turns into the Hulk, and then he goes, "Fuck your couch, fuck your couch, fuck your couch." You just made Leia spend some money. She's like, I'm ordering him now.
Ordering him right now.
Yeah, and I don't. The thing I don't like is all of the older figures like this are in this
Mhm.
90s style packaging,
Mhm.
but the newer figures like All Hallows Eve is in a different packaging. So I was like, I can't display these next to each other. It looks dumb. So I'm like, so I have to open
You
some.
have to get somebody that could do a good reproduction here and figure out how to get it in the reproduction package to make it all similar.
But
Yeah,
not
but
to
if
be
you put
out.
it in a reproduction package, it doesn't have any
Mhm.
resale value that way.
Oh, I'm gonna be buried with all this stuff. There's no resale value to this.
Oh, okay.
That's not,
I just
yeah,
need to
but
know where he's being buried so I can come dig it up.
no.
I'm coming for your grave. I'm
Now,
gonna purposely
Why
outlive
did I
you
just
so I
picture
can come for
Elaine
your
being
grave.
Brendan Fraser? It's like, yeah, she gonna create her own mummy movie. It's gonna be the curse of Cliff that she has to have to deal with. It's like, oh, I got the Hypno Hustler figure now.
Nope.
I'm set for life.
No harm
now I
ever
do.
came from reading a book.
Yeah, now they are doing a good thing with these Spider-Man figures, and they're re-releasing the uh the first and second waves of them because like the Green Goblin and the Kingpin are like $200 in package.
Mm-hmm.
But since they're
Wow.
re-releasing them, I can get them for sticker price. So
Cool.
yay!
I'm coming for
I
your
wish
goblin.
other companies would do that, but of course they
I'm
won't.
coming for your goblin.
Gobble gobble, baby. Now, not to be outdone, I got her I found somebody on Pinterest that turned a photo of us into a Pokemon card. So,
He just walked into the room and closed the door. He's like, I'm not trying to be.
mhm.
I cannot get these children on camera.
Nope.
Your children at least come on camera. Every time I try to get one of these children, Courtney. I'm not decent. I get in TJ's. Oh, my mic picked that up, by the way. I'm in PJ. That's the truth. Yeah, but still, they gotta giggle. But I can't get these children on camera, and they know that it's Thursday night. Okay, they know when I go on. They purposely do this. John goes in my room because he knows I can't walk away from the camera long enough to go in there, grab him, and then drag him back in here because he fights too hard. You know, he's 6 feet tall and he fights back. So it
and
makes it a little harder.
and you gave me the warning not to enrage him. You know where I can say that will enrage him.
Don't enrage my child.
Yeah, it's like
Don't enrage my child.
don't watch the Scooby Doo movie, The Curse of the 13th Ghost,
Do not enrage my
and they're
child.
gonna be like, why? Because Scrappy Doo got retconned. There is no Scrappy Doo.
Do not enrage my child.
There's no Scrappy Doo.
He's having a hard enough time dealing with a few things over here.
Mhm.
Some changes and some stuff he's watching. Do not, and I've still got
Oh,
to figure out how to raise the money to take him to the Pokemon exhibit at the museum, at the Field Museum downtown.
Oh yeah, while it's still there. But you got some time. You got a couple more months before that goes away.
Yeah, I gotta go down and beg my mama because this
mhm.
I gotta take a family of four there to see it. And if you eat at the museum,
That's expensive.
that's like $200. If
That's if
I
you're lucky. If you're
if we're
lucky.
lucky, we go to excuse me, we go to McDonald's.
If you
There
go to
used to
McDonald's,
be
it's still a little bit cheaper. It's still a little bit cheaper. You
there
go from
used to be a
200 to maybe
McDonald's in the
100.
museum. There used to be a McDonald's. They had
Mm-hmm.
a McDonald's kiosk in the museum. I don't know if it's still there. Um, but it's like Aurelio's is closed. So the only place nearby, the closest place on the Roosevelt corridor is that Subway
Mm-hmm.
that's over there right off Michigan, you know. So it's like, well, I have to walk him down to the subway. But then knowing John, he'll look at me and remember Five Guys is only a couple of blocks off Wabash. No, and it's like, oh damn, we back to $200. Five Guys does amazingly good burgers, and
Mm-hmm.
when you order fries from Five Guys, they will give you a shopping bag of fries.
Yep.
It's for one person. I love their fries, and they're
Yep.
I keep my opinion of Five Guys to myself.
good.
Yeah, I
I
hate the
agree,
fact that doing something to enrich your family, like going to a museum, is basically a car payment sometimes.
yeah, because that's just the 200 to eat. I have to find a day when it's a city free day, so that way we
Mm-hmm.
can get in to the museum for free, and all I have to do is pay for the exhibit. Because we also have to get there and back, and luckily there is um there is a stop in a metro that is right near it, but it's you still got to climb upstairs, so it's like we're not going to take the metro there, we're going to take the metro home,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because it'll be easier on me. But
yeah,
that's still transportation alone is about $30.
mm-hmm. We
You know,
when we went to Birmingham, we took the girls to the Civil Rights Institute, and even with our homeschool field trip discount, it was still over $100 for 4 tickets.
dang.
It was ridiculous. And
I'm
my
sorry.
daughter, my oldest, when she went to London, she went to all the museums because they were all free.
Yeah, they they
I'm
they
like,
have free.
seriously?
I
Yeah.
missed the day when I was a child. Yeah, we getting in the Wayback Machine, okay? Just
Mm-hmm.
just shortly after
No,
the
you
wheel
did it
was
before I
invented.
did because I was about to bring up brown bag lunches and when we was in
But it
school.
was the field trip was $5.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my mama just, bitching up a storm because it's like, why I gotta give you $5 and I still gotta give you food? I'm like, because we gotta get in the museum. And
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is because our parents would yell at us, and then we would go and ask the teacher, and she would say, well, here's the thing. We go in the school bus runs on, because back then a lot of those school buses ran on diesel. We have to pay the school bus driver. We have to pay for the gas. You need to get that car yet.
Yeah, I get the hour to go along with the hypno hustler.
But she would explain it. She would say, even if we get in the museum, the buses and the museum would let us in because they would let school kids in. If you went as a school, they had days for the school, but you still had to pay the bus company
Mm-hmm.
to pick us up and to drop us off, and then to go park the car and park the bus and sit there for hours. And the buses were only, I didn't know this as a child, that they only had certain areas where the buses could park. And so the buses had to go park, and then they would come get you and
Hey man, leave my
and
couch
take
out
you
of
home.
this.
Be nice to the couch. And we still haven't done what we were supposed to do.
Well,
Because
see, you brought back those memories and the most messed up one from high school that I have.
I'm sorry. I'm
The
sorry.
most messed up one for high school that I have is like instead of chartering school buses, they chartered the CTA buses.
They actually
It
used
was
to.
a lot more money.
Oh shoot.
It was a lot more money, but it was exclusive to everybody who went because we had, I think it was a field trip to the South Shore Country Club
Oh,
for
okay.
this one
And that's
African fest, for this one
and it's no
African fest,
longer
and
called the
and the
South Shore
African
Country
fest
Club.
was the whole cultural center. So the way
Yeah.
that they got us there was they had chartered at least 3 CTA buses.
Wow.
And if you wasn't with your group and didn't get back in time to get on the bus for that was chartered, not only did you lose your money that you paid for those buses, you then have to pay your own way back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, our teachers used to threaten us with that. It's like, but then I think what last time I went on a field trip, I was 12 or something like that. And because they had school days, you were, everybody.
She always finds a way to find what the brightest thing was. At least it had air
Sweetie,
conditioning.
back in the day, the air conditioning of a CTA bus was you opened the window. If the windows would open.
Open.
Okay, that's how they air conditioned the CTA buses. And even then, you had to be on the bus line to spend at least some time on the expressway. Because if you were in stop and go traffic and it was 95 degrees outside, that bus was like being baked in an oven. Because once they got warm and you had all those people, so you got it's hot outside, you got body heat in the bus. That's just, and not everybody wears deodorant.
Well, put it this way: I'm not saying the last time that she visited here, she has not been on the 151.
Ooh, that
151 in 90-degree weather going
ooh.
northbound
Uh,
towards Loyola University in Evanston.
well, it's not bad once you're on. If once you get out of the loop. So once you hit Oak Street Beach and you come out of the loop, traffic is a little faster because you're hitting northbound and you're on basically you're not on the outer drive, but you're running parallel to it.
But
And
you're
then
making every last stop.
depending depending on the time of day. But
Mm-hmm.
once you get to North Avenue, you're in the park. And it's just a little cooler because depending on they've trimmed the trees since then. It used
Mm-hmm.
to be one of the good things about going to parks was they didn't always trim the trees. So the bus, you'd be driving and all of a sudden, boom, 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 because the tree branches would be whacking the bus.
Because that was the one thing that I told my mother back in the day where I was going to like Loyola University for the summer because I was taking classes and stuff during the summer, and I did something extracurricular that day in that area, and I missed the last 147 bus. So I got that 151 coming back south to downtown.
Oh no.
All up here, it's like, okay, I should be back downtown within like 20, 30 minutes, no big deal. 2 hours later.
Later.
Yeah,
2 hours
hours
later.
later. It's like, we're not downtown yet. Oh my goodness, this is just so painful.
There were times when I was a kid, writing the CPA was sometimes did feel a little Fred Flintstone. Stop and go traffic in the loop was the worst
Mm-hmm.
because, I would rather get out and walk downtown than be on the bus when it's stop and go traffic because the one good thing about the loop, but you have to be careful about the time of year. Um, it's called the Windy City for a reason. You know? And depending on where you are, you could come around, if you're coming up Clark Street and you hit Washington and come around Daly Plaza just the right way, you're going to pick up a lovely breeze. But depending on what you're wearing and how much you weigh, you can find yourself blown out into traffic. That's the reason why you don't find a lot of skinny people in Chicago downtown not walking alone because you know I have been blown out into traffic. When I was a teenager, I was very svelte, and there are times when you walking down, you coming up that wrong street or whatever, and that wind comes just right. Woof. 1 minute you're on the sidewalk, next minute you're in the middle of LaSalle.
Now you give me flashbacks of seeing people coming through the pedway. Coming through the pedway. Okay, I'm about to go upstairs and get upstairs, and next thing you know, they get blown right back down the stairs. like,
you had to be careful in certain areas. Like there is a entry to the subway off Washington on Clark.
mm-hmm.
A windy enough day, you don't have to walk down those stairs. You just have to.
The wind would just push you.
You just have to judge your landing and hope you don't hit anything too hard. You can just go.
I'm just thinking about Daily Center and the Pedway and how people try to come out those doors from the Pedway to go upstairs and out.
Now
when we hit them, it's like, okay, it looks like they're going to make it up the.
Nope. Now you come into the Pedway, depending. The central hub for the Pedway is Block 37. Yeah, and then it branches off. They closed off the Blue Line access on the Pedway. You can't.
Well, they about to make some more changes.
Yeah, they closed off Blue Line access, which ticks me off because that was my I have a friend who lives in Humboldt Park. So it was a great place to get to the Blue Line without having to go all the way to. Dr. Two Singapore State. Yep, that's the Windy City for you.
I was yelling, "You call this a storm like that?" Now, Lieutenant Dan, we don't have to go out that way.
Well, why don't we do the show, whatever we're going to do of it? Are we doing any clips for the...
No, we're not doing any clips of Hoodwinked because, again, even though I have the DVD, I don't think we're going to have enough commentary to get past the community standards here. Because that was the main reason why we got hit with the cops here, because I didn't break down every last thing that happened while we were watching.
And
so
you have to cut
it off, and because I think it was Warner Brothers who kind of still have copyright over it because we didn't transform it into a actual educational piece. They kind of complained enough, and that what ended up happening here.
Okay, are we doing any more of that book, Cliff? The comic where they're all fighting and
DCKO.
Oh no, we finished that.
Over.
I didn't. I was sick last week.
I called my friend on the phone. I was like, it's like an impressive bastard.
No, we finished that before C2E2, and
okay, I wasn't sure if we had more. I didn't know if we had more to cover on that. Because I want to make sure I give.
I'm wondering if people are voting in the poll here because we have no votes. At least I haven't seen any votes as of yet.
I am mentally subduing their ability to vote. I'm blocking them mentally. It's a thing.
You won't hear any more about KO for me until the end of the year when the event that one started shows up. So
okay. I got a little something on my mind.
All right.
Well,
if once we're all done,
mm-hmm.
We don't have to, but if there's time, because Joe and I had mentioned it before, I did finish the 3 Jokers, and I got a bunch I can yell about, but we don't have to do
that. Going to rant. Let's go on a rant.
Before you rant,
no, the floor is yours, ma'am. I'm just a backup. So.
Okay. Before you rant, let's talk about something good. Jody, we have the thingy.
What thingy?
I texted you the cover for the comic.
Let me go get it here.
Because I don't know how to pop
it up.
No,
I actually goofed because I didn't check it. I didn't check at the last second here.
Oh,
I know you sent it early. I know you sent it early enough. I just didn't check for it a second time here.
Bad joke, bad joke. bad joke. I hope you felt that.
No, I got you covered. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, anyway, um, there are some really great comics coming out on Comixology. I don't know if you can get them all in print, but if you can, there or just get it on Comixology. If you've got a Prime membership, you can read it for free. It's called The Lichen, and I'm down with the werewolves, so anyway, I loved this story. It's set in 1777. Captain Absalom Coffin. That's a great name for a lead character in a horror book, I think. And his crew
Mhm.
are on the ship Caledonia. Now, this is the only part where, to me, the story ran afoul, was because they say that they are on their way back from Africa, bringing back cargo that they've went and hunted down and are bringing to this lord who's paying them a lovely chunk of change to do it. The only problem is the cargo are two live tigers, Bengals by the look of them, which meant there's no way in hell they got these tigers out of Africa. If they'd have said they'd gone to India, China, someplace around, Southeast Asia, that'd be more believable. But to say you got them puppies in Africa didn't make any sense to me. That was the only part of this book that I was sitting there going, nonsense. In fact, when I read that, I was ready to go, okay, I'm done with this. But, little like and love and heart said, just keep reading it. Anyway, and I love it because it kind of does make fun of itself because the opening of the book is, wait for it, a dark and stormy night. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm the only one old enough to find the joke in that.
No, I was thinking throw mama from the train. The night was sultry.
No, no. The opening of our story literally takes part on a dark and stormy night. They are out at sea on the Caledonian, their ship, and they are looking for the lighthouse because the storm is getting rather tense. And they're afraid that they could run afoul. They don't want to crash into the coast and whatnot. And they see a light. There's a light. And following the light, they run on a sand barge because it turns out the light wasn't the light they thought it was. It was being used by the lighthouse keeper, but he wasn't in the lighthouse. And it's not clear if he purposely r- ran them aground that way. But our good captain and his crew, realizing they're stuck on a sand barge, at least till and they would like to get on their way. And they run up on the lighthouse keeper who gives them the cryptic warning of they need to leave because they won't live through the night. Um, and they all look at him like, you a crazy old man. And they make their way to the town, and they've asked this guy, well, what about the town? The town of all of us should be there. And they're like, yeah, it's there, but there are no more town people. They've all got the plague and died. As they go towards the town, they find a dead. What is it? They find it. They found a dead deer, an elk, and it's been ripped to shreds. And it's like, plague didn't do this. And they get to the town and they do find some dead townspeople in their houses and stuff, and they've been ripped to shreds. You just want comic reviews. Well, I'm reviewing a comic, so there, okay? Be happy. Um, they find people who've been ripped to shreds, like the the poor deer was, and they also run afoul of the British. Seems that on this island, there is, which is still being held by the British, there is a small contingent of British soldiers, and the British and they lead them to an old fort that is now turned into a convent. These nuns have taken it over, but because British Army is there. They've commandeered. Yell. Feel better now? She said, yell at me again. At me. That's it. Yelled at me. Yeah. Anyway.
To be silly now.
I'm trying to talk about the werewolf and she just messing up my mind.
Yep, she's laughing.
Anyway, don't make me start anyway. Sorry, mouse just ran by my desk. Wasn't expecting it, little bastard. Anyway, they get into the fort. They meet the commander at the fort, and he tells them that there is something that, as they see there's some beast out there that is killing the cattle, and they can't catch it. And because Coffin and his crew are hunters, he offers to pay them if they will go and hunt this beast down and kill it. And they agreed to it. And that's when our story starts getting interesting. We eventually find out our beast ain't normal beasts. They're not the people. When anybody tells them anything, when they ask, well, what is it about these animals? The only thing people tell them were they're wolves. They're not wolves. They're werewolves. And they're I don't want to give the story too much away because it's a fun read. It is. It is full of action. It's got intrigue. Every time you turn around, somebody is turning around and stabbing somebody else in the back. Luckily for our stalwart captain and his crew, these men are hardened sailors and hunters, and they believe they're a pack of their own, and they look out for each other, which which for them becomes a saving grace in this story. And I really loved it because they also threw in some romance, and the romance made sense. And at the end, I was like, oh, it was a real wolf story with heart. It was so cool. I just loved it. Um, but I gave it 5 stars. The word stalwart. Okay, thank you. As old, we use that language. I did give it 5 stars because it was well written. And before I forget, let me give you a lineup of who grew up. The story of this is by David James Kelly and Thomas Jane. I don't know if it's Thomas Jane, the actor, because when I tried to look it up, Amazon wouldn't put a face on there. So it could be Thomas Jane, the actor. It could just be somebody else unfortunate enough to be in this thing and have that name.
It is the actor Thomas Jane.
It is? Ooh.
And the script for the book was done by Mike Carey.
Same guy who did Lucifer.
Who did Lucifer.
You just took my stuff from me.
I was just trying to help.
I'm telling Grayson on you and the missus. You're in trouble now. Because they like me. Anyway. The illustration.
It's the Mickey Mantle Punisher actor.
Okay. Anyway. I'm never going to get through this. The illustrations are by Diego Yapur. The colors are by DC Alonso. The letterer is AW's Justin Birch. And the cover art is by Tim Bradstreet. And the pinup that comes at the end of each issue is by Sean O'Connor. It is well drawn. I think it is very well written. The fact that you're going through this story, things are mounting as each issue comes out. It's stuff is building. Folks are stabbing folks in the back. Folks are losing their damn minds. And in the middle of it, you find this love story. And they made sense. And they made it work. And I'm just saying, it for me, Oh, I guess I can write him and ask if he'd be cool about that, Leah. But I don't know if he'll respond. Like I said, I gave it 5 stars. I really loved it. I loved the gory stuff was girl gory. The action stuff was actiony. Slash, buckling, squash men stuff, and it was just good. It was good, and it I liked the crew of the Caledonian. They were close knit. They were loyal to their captain, and because of that, you root for them. You do root for them because unlike the British soldiers who, for the most part, will happily stab their mama in the back, these guys are a unit and they prove it over and over again. And when something happens to one of them, you can see these men take it to heart. It you know, and the ending, I wasn't expecting the ending, but it made me happy. Arr!
No,
Now you
she was asking about who put out the book. This is a Comicsology
This was
original.
on Comicsology. Renegade Entertainment produced the book. You can find it via Comicsology. Because I have a Prime, I've got their book plan. You get one free. You get so many free books from Prime that you can read so many free comics, and I actually I didn't know how to get rid of my gaming books. And then Prime taught me how to go in there and get rid of them. And then I was able to pull these up because you can only have 10 free books. But it is a 6-part series. It's not a long read, but I liked it because each book is about 26 pages or so. So it's not that I'm going to try and tell you this in 15 pages or less. This is 26 pages. This is more like this is closer to a classic book, you know. And like I said, I really enjoyed it. They're now going, hey, if you like this, there's another werewolf book you might want to read. And I'm thinking of it. If I do, I will review it, you know. But
it's
if
the series is done.
it's done.
It's complete. Okay.
It's a 6-part. It's a
Yeah,
6-part
six
comic
issue.
book,
Mhm.
6-issue comic book mini series.
I'm
And
showing the people now
I
on
read it in an afternoon. And if you've got a Kindle thingy, they're free.
Yep.
And like I said, I sat down and ran that through in an afternoon. Um, don't think there's some nudity in it, so I wouldn't recommend it for the girls. You know,
If it's got
I'm just
nudity in it, I can't read it.
uh well, I don't, your missus isn't into werewolves, is she?
Look, he shot the boomstick in issue number 3.
Oh, Absalom. Oh my goodness, that man in the boomstick. Holy crap, can he shoot a gun? The movie that Quigley Down Under.
Mm-hmm.
You saw Quigley Down Under, Joe?
Yeah, I remember that.
We're
Again,
talking
that's one of those movies that my mother likes because it's close enough to a Western.
Yeah. Quigley, he's got Quigley Down Under shooting skills with that long carabine.
So now you got her looking up
If you read it,
46
girly, let
issues
me know
now.
what you think about it. Let me think about it. Um, do you have Prime books? Do you have the Prime thingy? Because if so, maybe I can share it with you. They're free though, so you should be able to get it. If not, let me know. I'll see what I can do. Just don't let the girls read this. That's all I'm asking. Don't. This is not set for the girls.
This is definitely not a Scamp or a Scooby Doo book.
Yeah, this is grown.
Yeah.
Parents out there, this is grown folk stuff. You shouldn't be letting anybody under 17 read this book. That's all. In fact, no, 18, because there's a naked nun in it.
The cover reminds me of Solomon Kane.
I think, and they did the covers in a way where they're not trying to, the covers are meant to titillate but not tell you exactly what's going on in the story.
And
so because they
in the time period it was set in too.
Yeah,
that was the one thing that I noticed.
Yeah, because this is what 1777. So so, and which means when the crew runs up against the British soldiers, they're not happy to see each other, and they make a truce because of the situation that they're in. But you can tell from the British side of things, especially the British commander, the idea of stabbing these guys in the back, it does not bother him. He's not big on the colonies. And the only reason they're on that island because it's an island the British still hold. The revolution hasn't gotten here. And so that's why they're there. They're still trying to hold. It's somewhere off, as far as I can tell. I think it's supposed to be somewhere off the coast of Nantucket or something, I think is where this takes place. Because our captain is from Nantucket, and his part in the story, the second issue, after it introduces him, his crew, and the situation that they're in, the second part of the issue is his backstory. And when he's a young man and there's a young girl out in the woods at night, because, all the best stories, all the best werewolf stories, turn out that way. And she's running and wolves are running after her. And our young Absalom is hunting and comes upon the girl and tells her, "Get behind me and I will protect you." And you realize he's one lone dude. He's got a long rifle, but they're like 7 or 8 werewolves. He can't kill them all. But he's prepared to do what he thinks he can do. But the girl looks at him quizzically, runs off. The wolves run off behind her. He tries to catch her. He can't find them. He gets back eventually to his village, goes into his home. His mother, his father, and his sister have been torn apart. He looks through his village, and it is the same thing from home to home. They've all been massacred, most cruelly. And all he has is the knife that the girl had dropped when he met her. And he has used this thing as, he has used this thing to try and follow whatever creatures did this to hit the people of his town. And it has taken him around the world and now brought him to this spot. And as you get deeper into the story, you realize fate is an interesting. Fate plays a big part of this, and he's not there by mistake. It's as if something willed him to be there at that time, at that place. Like I said, and it all starts with a dark and stormy night. I just love that. I just love that because who doesn't like a good horror cliche that turns around and gives you a great horror story? But that's just weird that way.
Yep. Now guess whose turn it is?
Well,
it ain't mine. It ain't mine.
Cliff, rant, baby, rant. Hold on. Let me get my butt square in my chair. I got to be ready for it.
Elaine, did you hear that they're remaking The Howling?
No.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if we talked about that or not.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay, I'm better now. Let a little something out.
Okay.
right. So
the rest of the house is dark. So Courtney, the rest of the house is dark, and the only place that's light is where I am, and Courtney's in here with me alone. Charles is dead asleep. John is in my room with the door closed. You have put this child in danger. Swing low, sweet area. Coming forward, carry me home. I can't believe they are remaking. Did they not learn from the second damn movie? That first one was
you could play about the second one. The
left
third
it
one,
alone.
the third one
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
yeah, they
The
it's like no.
marsupials. The marsupials. Ooh. I'm gonna sprout some fur and fangs in a minute, and this child is gonna have to jump out the window. Oh, I'm glad these men are villains.
He's probably looking at that window going, baby, great. How sweet does that say?
Huh. So I take that as a no then.
I did not realize that they were remaking it. I'm gonna have to write me some very as a lichen. I'm going to have to write. So I'm going to have to form the anti-lichen defamation league and write them a very sternly worded letter.
Leave the marsupials alone.
Man, I watched I watched all the Halloween movies during my bouts of insomnia over the past couple months.
No, he was not in that was a different werewolf movie. I was about to say what's his face was Aquaman, but that was a movie called Werewolves.
Now I watched one and two, and I watched the one where they were kangaroos.
The marsupials.
And I watched one where they were in some weird ass castle. Didn't make
That's
no
the
sense.
one where it was like which button who's got the werewolf who's got the werewolf thingy.
Yeah. And I watched there were two more after that.
The last one, the kid is in a freak show.
Yeah.
The last one takes place in the freak. Yeah, so I know my werewolf movies.
Yeah, and I just remember I was like, okay, this thing in the circus makes no sense. And why did this dude turn into this giant bald black thing? Was he supposed to be a demon or a vampire or
I don't think
inbred cousin? What was he?
I don't think they knew. Hey, but I get off on Australian werewolf movies where women trip and shoot themselves in the head. So I still can't find that film anymore.
Australian horror movies are the best. If you have not seen the movie Boar, Baor,
is that the one about the pig that's out there killing folks? Oh yeah. I suddenly had a increasing need to eat half a ham after watching that. It's like
I think over here in America it's called Rippy. It's about the giant zombie kangaroo.
Oh yeah. Ooh, that one was a little nightmarish.
That was the business right there.
All right, so you ready now for the rant? Rant of the week. And trust me, I got a little bit of the precursor the last time we spoke about this. It's going to be a good one.
Oh no.
All right, so before I say anything bad, I have to say I've also am reading Legion of Three Worlds. It's also by Jeff Johns, and it's wonderful. It's lovely. If you're a Legion fan, it's great. If you're not, it's still a great story.
Is that Green Arrow?
No, it's the Legion of Three Worlds. It's a Legion of Superheroes, and
okay.
George Perez did the art in it. Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. That being said, that same bastard who wrote that wrote this giant steamy pile of hog shit.
Oh no.
The Three Jokers.
Bad feeling.
Oh my God. All right, so I've read all three of them, and I briefly talked about the first two on here before. But for the sake of those who may not have heard it, this all comes out of Jeff Johnson's ideas for whatever Rebirth was originally going to be before he got taken out of power. And he set up the storyline that there were three Jokers in the DC universe and not one. And this book was supposed to be telling that story. And then when he lost power, it became, here, you work on this and be quiet. So.
That's what a grandma does to an overactive 3-year-old. You go over here and chew. Here, honey, you go ahead and chew on this ham. You come sit in this corner, chew on this ham taco. Shut up. Grandma gotta have coffee, watch your stories.
They gave him all of his normal creative team he likes to work with. They gave him Jason Fabok and was like, here, look, just draw whatever he asks. Just go over here, okay? And oh my God. So they're trying to figure out the mystery of the three Jokers, and it's a story revolving around Batman, Batgirl, and Jason Todd.
Okay.
And in the first issue, Jason kills one of the three Jokers, and this adds to the mystery somehow. I don't know how, but all of a sudden now Barbara Gordon's wishy-washy on if they should help Jason redeem him or he needs to go to jail for it. And Bruce Wayne is like, oh, you killed one of them. Like, you're Mr. We don't kill. Okay. And then in the second one, the second issue. Wait, is this the second? Yeah, this is the second issue. Now, I will say Jason Fabok does a good job. The art's beautiful. He's always been a good artist. Even though I found he's one of the artists that if he doesn't have a good inker, his stuff doesn't look as good. But so they're going through, and all of a sudden, Joe Chill, for longtime Batman fans will know who is the one who murdered Thomas and Martha Wayne in one version of DC history, gets kidnapped from his deathbed, and the other two Jokers are debating on whether they're going to turn Joe Chill or Jason Todd into a Joker. And I'm like, okay. And then Jason Todd and Barbara Gordon have a passionate kiss in her bedroom, and it's left with the idea of will they, won't they? And I'm left with the idea of why did you? Why did you? And then we get to the third issue.
They're kind of like siblings.
They're kind of like, it's like, look, I will beat the Dick Grayson Barbara Gordon relationship drum until I'm dead and in the grave. But even if because this comic, they don't outright say it, but they kind of ignore that Dick Grayson exists. They don't mention him once in the whole book that I noticed.
Well, wait a minute. Dick was supposed to be with Starfire.
No,
Floaty Tits Supergirl.
No, they kind of retconned that too.
Well, see, because if you go back,
waiting for him to make little orange babies with her.
Now, if you go back and you look at the old Batman family stories from the 60s and 70s, there was a weird romantic tension between Barbara and Dick back then, and through the years, people have picked up on it. But what you have to understand, and this is coming from someone who's a huge Dick Grayson fan, Dick Grayson is a man whore. He has been with every female in the DC universe at least once.
No, he hasn't. He has not touched Diana yet. He has not touched Big Barter as of yet.
I can't picture Diana
banging.
I don't see what Dick has.
They have made allusions to the fact that Big Barter has a crush on him.
Ew.
That's just recently. Yeah, that's more recent, but it has not been substantiated that
it was in the
that he made his normal move as of yet.
Also, I don't see Wonder Woman. I don't see Harley Quinn.
That actually happened.
That's happened a couple of times.
That actually happened. Dick Grayson and Harley Quinn actually happened.
A couple of times.
Was she slumming that back?
Hey, there ain't no slumming with Dick Grayson. He's got the greatest ass in comics.
Anything. I mean, hello, cucumbers are affordable and batteries are relatively cheap in Gotham.
Mm-mm. No, but either way.
Well, put it this way. Harley actually almost took it from him, and he just kind of like almost let it happen. He kind of like let it happen.
Yep.
I'm like, but
But anyway.
But it has been substantiated that Dick and Barbara was a thing for a long while, and I believe that Dick was the only person that really got her through the time where she was wheelchair bound.
Yes.
Excuse me, I have to turn off my mic for a second. This is going to
But however you want to slice it, the idea of Barbara Gordon is going to go after Jason Todd is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever read in my life. If nothing else, she could go get some Black Canary to tide her over until something better came along. I could
think of at least 7 or 8 women in the DC universe who would have looked at him like, "Are you even out of diapers yet?" I'm sorry. I mean, Vixen? No, Vixen ain't gonna touch that. Vixen got better things to do.
Well, when you say Vixen, you have to specify which one.
I only know of the one.
Okay, so she knows of the grandma. She only knows of the grandmother. She's right. The grandmother wouldn't touch her, but the modern day one that is the supermodel probably would.
Nubia would have said
there's a running list.
No, Nubia would have been like, "You gotta beat me in battle first," and would have killed him with her little thumb and a fart. That would have been the end of it. With her pinky and a fart, and that would have been the end of it.
Hey, I know plenty of dudes who are at the end of that, so it's okay.
No.
I think I know what our next conversation is going to be.
Wonder Woman don't go have none of that. She's looking at him like, no, you ain't got training wheels big enough on that thing.
Wonder Woman has been with Steve Trevor, Bruce Wayne, and Superman. Out of those 3, Dick Grayson is a much better catch.
If once she didn't bang Soupy, Dick Grayson can't, unless he's got unless Batman has made some special attachment, I don't think Dickie can keep it up.
See, I know what we're going to discuss next week. We're going to discuss these messed up hookups. Because I got a lot to say about how I hated the whole Kal-El Diana, but I love Bruce and Diana.
That woman would have ripped his ass to shreds.
You would have to blame John Byrne on Clark and Diana.
She would have ripped his butt to shreds. Catwoman would not have bothered. Zatanna got better things to do.
Zatanna has hooked up with Dick Grayson at least 3 times in the comics. Catwoman has hooked up with him at least twice.
And to me, one of the times was revenge, if I remember correctly.
Yes, one time was a revenge fuck to get back at Bruce, but yes.
I am going to blow out my microphone. Okay? I am going to blow out this damn microphone. And then I gotta go.
Only thing I can say about this right now is like, don't blame Dick Grayson. Blame Bruce. Why? Because Bruce is not a Batman. She is not a good Batman. This is why Thomas Wayne is the only and one true Batman. This type of stuff would not happen up under Thomas Wayne's watch as Batman.
It has been a long-standing tradition and running joke throughout the last 40 years of comics that Dick
Bruce
is like,
and the Joker just went off and got a room together. That would settle that shit. I'm just saying.
Anyway, but yes, it has been a long-standing running joke throughout DC Comics and Marvel Comics, if you look close enough, since about the mid-'80s through the 90s, that Dick Grayson is some kind of beefcake that all the ladies are after. It's been established. That is why if you look in the comics, there is X number of panels in each book with Dick Grayson in it where you see his backside.
Ever since he took off that Robin costume, he was beefcake number one.
I am not making any of that up. And I'm here for it. I love Dick Grayson, and the idea that they just line up for him is tremendous.
And they magnify it when they made him a super spy in the Grayson series. So it was on 111 at that point about him being sub muffin.
And anyway, getting back to this steaming pile of dog shit.
That's like saying
the three Jokers, not me. So issue 3. They're still infighting amongst themselves as heroes because Jason Todd should still be dead. There's no point in him being alive, but that's my opinion. And now they're trying to find where the Joker has kidnapped Joe Chill.
Is Jason Todd the one that becomes the Red Hood or whatever?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, he needs to decompose.
Yes. Yeah, and we're going along, and Jason and Barbara go off on their own to investigate stuff, and Jason is like a little lost puppy dog standing behind her going, "Oh, hey, can we talk?" And Barbara's like, "We're hunting down a mass murderer. Can you please shut up?"
Yes, thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Barbara. At least one of them has balls.
And he's like,
she's wearing them
now she's back on
them ovaries.
She's back on the bandwagon of Jason needs to be punished for killing the Joker. And he's like, we have no choice but to let you walk away from it because you'll be revealed as who you are and blah, 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 blah. And she said, if you ever kill anyone again, next time I'll unmask myself because we do not kill, which will come into play later in this book. And so we're looking for Batman is looking for this, and they go back to that old damn theater. And apparently, there's only one theater in Gotham City, and it's the one that Bizarro was
the one his mama and daddy got shot in.
The Monarch Theater, and on the marquee it says "One night only, the new Joker." So that way we know the Joker's in there. And they come in, and because it's a comic book with 3 main characters in it, they have to split up to go inside the theater. And they go in, and even though it's called The 3 Jokers, and one of them died in the first issue, and they're talking openly about they're making a new Joker, Barbara and Jason get ambushed by roomfuls of Jokers.
Oh, no.
And what was that? 5 pages ago, Barbara said, if you ever kill anyone again, I'll unmask myself to stop you. Jason is just throwing hot lead into all of these Jokers' faces. Nonstop. Dead body, dead body, dead body. And then we have Batman finds the Joker, and he's got Joe Chill tied up because Joe is going to become the next Joker. He will be the ultimate joke because he killed the Waynes. He's the one who did this to Gotham City. Because the Waynes apparently were like God and Jesus combined for Gotham City before they died. And that's why the whole town went to shit, because they died.
Well, in the first cinematic one, the one where Jack Nicholson plays the Joker, that's what they make for his story. He kills he's the one that kills the Waynes.
Yes, and I never was a fan of the idea.
Yeah, Jack Napier. Yeah.
I never liked the idea that they made the Joker the person who killed Batman's family. That's why I'm glad they just ignored it after that movie.
But the idea of You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Ask all
And that
my
man,
victims that. I just like the sound of it.
that man made the smartest decision financially as an actor in history in that movie, because he said he would only work for like they paid him $2 million for his role, and he
Hmm.
got a cut of all of the merchandising from it.
Yeah, he was smart.
Yeah, he made like $95 million off that movie. But going along, more of
But he
Jason
couldn't
Todd
save the Flash
murdering
movie.
people.
But he couldn't save that Flash movie enough.
Nope.
Well,
Yeah,
you
let's
know.
see. See, and then he goes, "I want you to know why I'm making a new Joker Batman, because I want to mean more to you, more to you than anyone."
See, they need to get a room. There are whips, chains, butt plugs, whatever they need. They need to get a room and just work that shit out. And once they do that, they will both. Gotham will be a happier place. It'll be a happier, more peaceful place. The
Now,
Joker will have a smile that means something.
now, just because we weird down here, there is an adult movie like what you described, and I may or may not have seen it.
You better send me a link.
Oh, this is old, man. This is a VHS tape somewhere in my house.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Dang.
and so he's trying to convince the Joker. Batman's trying to convince the Joker not to turn Joe Chill into the new Joker because he's a sick old man and is dying. We're going along. Jason Todd is still murdering people nonstop,
Kill, 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 kill,
and then
kill.
the Joker kills the other Joker. Now that we're back to one Joker.
Running
Um,
around with veins and bugs in his teeth. Going kill, kill,
uh,
kill.
and Batman saves Joe Chill. Um, and it's kind of like this was all just a backdrop for Bruce to get some kind of closure with the person who killed his parents. And I'm like, okay, that all right, that's fine if you were 8 years old and have never read a Batman comic and know he had closure about 50 years ago. But okay, um, let's see, and the Joker's captured. The one true Joker is all that's left. No explanation of anything other than the fact that there were three of them. Now there's only one. Uh, and then Jason's like, "This is all over," and there are all these dead bodies all around, and fire and mayhem. And let's see, Jason says, "So that's it." He takes the last Joker back to Arkham and then sends me home. Get the Batmobile to the Batcave. Give him a chance, Jason. Give yourself one too. This is Barbara and
Mary
Jason talking.
Marvel wouldn't bang Dick Grayson.
She did.
Let it go.
Elaine, you are fighting 40 something years worth of storytelling where they did nothing but put everybody with this man.
Oh no. It had a vagina and a pulse. He was in it. Oh man, that's just sad.
And then
Things
Jason
like that
Todd
make
is
me
like,
want to feed him to Vampirella.
No one didn't think that could actually happen.
Oh,
and then Barbara's like, give Bruce a chance, Jason. Give yourself one too. And then we get this nice close-up panel of Jason's milk-sop dumbass face saying, "What about a chance with us?" Mm-hmm.
Barbara has had to talk to him like a combination of his mama and a big sister, and all of a sudden he's like, "I got something for you down here." She's like, "I bet you I could cut it off before you can remember what you call it."
And then she goes, Jason, I think we're interpreting what happened with us very differently. I'm sorry. And,
See, she was nice. I'd have been like, you know what? How attached to you to Mr. Winky? Because I'm about to unattach him.
and then Commissioner Gordon comes over, and I'm really confused about this part because I did not think it was in mainstream continuity that Commissioner Gordon knew who she was. But he goes, they're having a heart to heart. He goes, Red Hood isn't someone you should be involved with. And Barbara looks at him and says, what I do with him isn't your business, Dad, and drives off.
Damn.
I
That's the
didn't
first
think
time I
they
ever
knew each other.
saw Barbara be disrespectful.
That one, I gotta leave to. It's like, what in the
Doesn't
world he was
Gordon
thinking?
doesn't
Up here, it's
Gordon
like I
find out
don't
who she
believe
is on the
that there
show?
was any canon that would make Barbara that angry enough at shoot, at
At her dad.
Commissioner Gordon, at Jim to do something like that.
But wait a minute. If I have to go reread the Killing Joke because I thought he found out. I thought the Joker had given off her alter ego during the Killing Joke. I
Mm-mm.
guess I was wrong. Okay.
No, he showed up at her house and shot her, and
Yeah.
then kidnapped Commissioner Gordon, and had all those pictures of him giving her the creepy touch. But there was never anything about her being Batgirl in that.
Okay. Okay.
And
I couldn't remember.
that was supposed to be an Elseworld story. It wasn't supposed to be part of the continuity until later on. But yeah,
Yes.
um, and then we get this nice heart to heart with Batman and the Joker. And of course, the Joker knows who they all are: Bruce Wayne, Barbara Gordon, Jason Todd. You know, I know, but I don't care. I won't tell. The world can never know your true name. You might stop doing this if I do. And
And
Batman's
then
like,
who
what
will
you
I have to
know?
play with?
Let's see, he goes, uh, and basically, let's see, he goes, no, and Batman's like, well, what's the punchline to all of this? And he goes, oh, this isn't a joke. There's no final twist. Not until I decide to put my hand on the knife in your heart. I am chaos. I am the devil. I am nothing to you and everything. It
Oh,
isn't
they
the
took
Joker
that out of
that
Heath Ledger's Joker.
it isn't the Joker that is broken. It was the Batman. Like, okay. Um,
That's straight out of Heath Ledger's Joker.
mhm. Oh.
I,
And
I
then let's see. And then it just goes, it's more of the same Batman Joker back and forth. Bruce Wayne goes to visit Joe Chill as he dies in the hospital. Um,
Heidi, Heidi, Heidi.
and, uh, and then we have a scene of Bruce Wayne driving through in Alaska, and it says, "The world can never know your true name." Talking about the Joker, um, because apparently Bruce Wayne knew who the Joker was because the police found out and hid away his pregnant wife from him, where she could start a new life, and he's the only one who knows where she is, and so he's
Oh, okay.
stopping in to check on her.
Oh no. Why
Um,
do I have a bad feeling about that?
but as that happens, we get this lovely little sad sack moment here with Jason Todd. He's standing outside of Barbara's apartment.
Oh no. Is he holding a boombox above his head and wearing a
No, but
trench coat?
he has a letter. He has a
Oh.
letter and a piece of scotch tape. And Barbara is running on her treadmill. And then we get to see what the letter says. It says, "Dear Barbara, I want to make a change, but I can't do that without you. I know I've come across cold and distant, but I know you know why. I've always admired you, Barbara, your strength, your determination, your heart. You think what happened was a mistake, that it was a moment. But I think we could be great together. I really do. I'll give up being Red Hood for us. I could be something else. Or I could just be Jason. All I need is one chance to prove to you I can be better. And I will devote my life to making you proud, happy, loved. If you don't think I'm worth one chance, if if it was all just you caught up in everything, then throw this letter away. I'll never mention it. I'll even understand. Whatever happens, I love you. Yours forever, Jason.
I know
And
a
he
guy
puts
who needs a date. His name is King Shark, because King Shark is a shark, and I bet you he'd hit it.
and Jason sticks the note on the door with a piece of scotch tape and walks off into the sunset.
And
And
a building falls on it.
the last thing you see is the note falls off the door, and the maintenance man sweeps it up in the garbage and throws it away. Thus ends this steaming pile of shit. Now,
I'm sorry, but if I was gonna review a really good book, you would at least be able to handle this steaming pile of shit. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing.
You have to hear the first time around when we got through the first two books. It was hilarious.
no,
And then you would how somebody explain to me how he's a stud muffin now. I don't get it. I don't see it. And my favorite line out of all of it, they supposed to be having orange babies.
Well, it's shipped them since I was reading that time I was reading Teen Titans and
Teen
her
Titans,
that,
and
that ship
her
sailed when
sister
she got
came and
married.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She got married to somebody else.
Uh-huh. To broker peace for Tamaran. And funny enough, at that wedding, Dick Grayson hooked up with Raven. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah. But I like Jeff Johns. I thought he was a great writer when he wrote JSA, when he did all that great work with all the Green Lantern lore he introduced or added to, however you want to look at it. His new creator-owned book, Geiger from Image, is great. It's a great book. His Flash Barry Allen, but most of the stuff he writes was always great. I always thought, I'm like, man, he understands the DC universe. Nope.
So we think. So we thought.
Nope.
He does not understand Batman. Not at all.
He proved me wrong. No. Any small understanding of the Batman corner of the DC universe.
He banged Raven.
And Donna Troy. And Jesse Quick.
No, she got married.
She wasn't always married, and then her husband died. And he banged the Huntress.
That's nasty. Because that's almost like banging your stepsister.
I was about to say your stepmom, but okay.
Yep. He banged the Huntress.
Yeah, that's almost like I said, that's like banging your stepsister.
That's like banging.
He hooked up with Black Canary.
Yeah.
She should know better. She should. What did she do? Lose her self-respect for 24 hours?
No, it's just again, it's a Batman book. Everybody wants the Batman male characters to be uber masculine. They didn't care about what was going on in the rest of the DC
After the
universe.
introduction of Dick Grayson as Nightwing in the new Teen Titans, when they were moving him away from the Bat family, it was established he is a cornerstone of the DC universe. Everyone loves and respects him. Everyone looks at him a certain way, and women love him.
Shorts.
And women love him. Yes,
women love him.
It has been that way since he became Nightwing in the 80s.
I'm gonna have to write a story.
When he became Nightwing, and it became even worse when he moved to Bloodhaven.
Oh my God! In Bloodhaven, he was beating him off with a stick.
Yep.
I'm gonna write a story I'm gonna pick some DC woman I really really want to have respect for, and I'm just gonna have her turning from a rooster to a hen with one shot.
We can't be friends no more, Elaine.
See, that's the thing about
We
it. If
can't be
she
friends
does
no more.
this, I got a character that she could probably use to do that with too.
No, I'm
And
pulling out some. I'm pulling
he will
somebody.
probably never ever do it
I'm
again.
pulling somebody from way back. I'm thinking Rose and Thorn, or the two kung fu female detectives who helped Lois Lane get her consciousness raised.
No, I got the perfect character for you to use. And you know this character because you know a little bit of Superman lore.
Yeah, that just
Let him try to work his mojo with somebody like Maxima.
woo.
Been there, done that.
Oh, she'll melt it.
Been there, done. He's been there and done that too.
When? When?
It was a throwaway line in a Titans book.
Maxima just does not pop up in Teen Titans. She was specifically a Superman character that just does not show up.
I did not say she was in Teen Titans. I did not say she was in Teen Titans. I said it was a throwaway line in a Titans book.
Okay.
So it may not be
casual conversation.
He may have just been going, yeah, I hit that, only to just saying something to say something. He does not have any proof. It's not
he
like
wasn't
she.
the one who said it.
Elaine's like, where's the receipts? Where's the receipts? I want receipts.
Who said it?
It was a conversation between Vic and Garfield.
How did they know? Did they see it?
They live in a giant T. There aren't that many places you can go.
And plus, Vic has access to Mother Box during that time. So, yeah, there are probably ways that he could have detected if it was true or not.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who I want to ship him with. If we're going to ship him with somebody, I know exactly who I want to ship him.
But again, that's still more fuel to the fire that you can add to that story, too.
No.
What if he did lie?
I want to ship him with Atragon.
Ooh.
See, Elaine, we can't be friends no more. You got something against my boy that I named one of my kids after. We can't be friends no more. If there's no Dick Grayson, there's no DC Universe.
Girl,
well, I would say it this way: if there is no Dick Grayson,
telling them not to hurt you because
the whole legacy of Bruce goes away. Because Bruce has no legacy if it wasn't for Dick Grayson.
There is no DC Universe without Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson is so important to the DC Universe that he was chosen first to be the next Earth Green Lantern before Hal Jordan. He was just in Gotham and was too far away for the ring to travel. So that's how it ended up with Hal Jordan.
Again, that was retcon.
Damn near everything's been retconned at least once.
It's retcon because, again, remember, the ring had to change Hal Jordan to meet Alvin Sewer's request. There was no one on Earth that met Alvin Sewer's requirement.
That was changed retcon too, though.
I know that, but that's what I say. It's like all of that stuff that you're talking about right now. It's like all of that is retcon. It's like, yeah, they making it that way. That's not how it originally was.
Jeff
Constantine used to date King Shark.
How do we get to that one? That's like that's a turn. That's a turn in a whole different direction. Constantine used to date King Shark. I was like.
Constantine was also a sock puppet for Swamp Thing and his lady to make a baby.
Okay.
Like I said, we need to save this for next week's show. We're going to talk about all the messed up relationships in the
Abigail Arquette. Abigail Arcane and Swamp Thing had a baby that was going to be the new Avatar of the Green.
Mm-hmm.
Alec Holland inside the Swamp Thing body could not make a baby.
No.
So he took his Swamp Thing and put it inside John Constantine. And John Constantine, while under the control of Swamp Thing, made Sweet Sweet Hump Hump to Abigail Arcane, and they had a swamp baby.
Yep.
Sweet, sweet hump hump. I like that.
Sweet, sweet hump hump.
I'm gonna have to use that somewhere. Sweet, sweet hump hump.
Yes. And that, so John Constantine has been a sock puppet for people to make babies. So he's a little bit lower than on the food chain now.
Has been a lot of things. So
yes. Yes,
but making sock puppet isn't as nearly as bad as some of the stuff he has had to go through.
But after reading that, if I ever am at a convention again, I may end up going to jail from punching Jeff Johnson in the face. This was some shit.
You won't, because you know what'll happen? When he gets up to start crying, I'll just rip his throat out.
Jeff Johns.
You run. I will. You hit him. You run. I will step in. I will cripple him and blind him.
You will cripple
him. All his fingers.
Like next time, get it right.
Mm-hmm. I will strip him naked. Take him onto one of the stages and whoop him the way his mama should have. I said, maybe next time you figure out how to write a damn book and leave him there.
Green Lantern Rebirth was such a good book. And in that first couple of issues, he got the characteristics of all of the Earth Lanterns perfect.
Okay.
No mistake about it. This is Guy Gardner. This is John Stewart. This is Kyle Rayner. This is Hal Jordan. Perfect. It was great.
John Stewart's the black guy.
Yes.
Okay.
All of it. It was like, this is great. These are these characters. He got the Rogues and Flash. I'm like, this is great. I love the Rogues. This is great. He brought Aquaman back to greatness.
But not every book is meant for every writer to read.
Exactly.
And
leave the Batman stuff alone.
You need to learn.
Leave the Wonder Woman stuff alone.
For you. And when something isn't for you, you pull your pants back up. You say, you know what? I don't think I got what's required to bang that out, and take your ass home. That's how that works. That's how grown folks handle their business.
I really, truly don't know if it was supposed to be something different. And when his plans for DC got cut off at the knees, if he just had to play it by ear with the book, or if it's really that level of him not understanding Batman. I don't know which one it is. But it's
they have finally gone back to supposedly the word on the street is the next X-Men movie is going back to Chris Claremont's tenure. They're going to go back to his they're going to script the next X-Men movies using Chris Claremont stories. Because somebody has figured out, just letting any old idiot up there writing that book, writing these scripts doesn't work. We need to, and Hugh Jackman's all long in the teeth and he was hanging out with the Epstein. So I'm not sure.
Now, which Chris Claremont are we talking about here? Are we talking about the 80s Chris Claremont? Or are we talking about more modern Chris Claremont?
We're talking 80s. From what I saw and the cover art they were using, we're talking classic 80s Claremont.
Okay, because them last couple of X stories he wrote didn't make a damn lick of sense.
Because they had this was one they had characters I have not seen in a while, like they had that were together. So like Bishop and Rogue and several other people. I think even Nightcrawler, because this was before I guess this was before Nightcrawler and Crit and Kitty went to the UK.
Okay, yeah, okay.
This is prior
So
to,
this is before they met Captain Britain.
yeah, this is prior. Yeah, Betsy Braddock's brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before she went Asian because she got to the Siege Perilous, and she
Oh,
became
that
Asian.
didn't happen now, right?
You
There are two Psylocks now.
There's not two Psylocks. There's two different characters. Revenge is her own character. Betsy Bragg is still Betsy Bragg.
But she goes by Psylocke, and Betsy Braddock goes by.
And he's not here.
Captain Britain last time I
his
saw it.
throat out with my teeth.
That's because whatchamacallit is kind of like on the DL now because of what's going on with what is it, MI13.
Wait a minute.
Are you talking about Brian Braddock?
Yeah, the original Captain Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was blind.
Now, unless it's changed, the last time I saw it, Brian had taken over. Because the Captain Britain thing was almost like a multiverse version of Green Lantern Corps.
Right. Because again, the whole thing about Great Britain and how they have their MI forces and whatever. It's just
Brian took over being one of the Guardians.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Britain originally was supposed to be Britain's answer to Captain America. Betsy.
No, that was Union Jack.
That was Union Jack. He's correct. Captain Britain was Marvel's superhero version of James Bond.
Okay. Mm-hmm. His sister
Betsy
was an Olympic skier until she lost her sight. And she ends up getting connected with the New Mutants originally when she's still just Betsy Braddock.
Mm-hmm.
And she connects with, in fact, she's one of the few humans who physically connects with Warlock. And they're able, and the New Mutants are, they're being held, and because of her, that's how I got introduced to her. It was the issue of New Mutants where they introduced her. And because she was wearing Warlock like a suit with heels and everything. She was rocking that shit. Anyway, she helps Warlock free the New Mutants. But I forgot what happened, but she ends up going through the Siege Perilous.
And she ends up with the X-Men during the Morlock Massacre.
She ends up in Shinobi Shaw's girlfriend's body because he comes after her at some point because she still has she has the body, but she still has part of the girlfriend's soul. And it's a great issue. I wish I hadn't lost it. He actually confronts her and explains, I think there's a brief tussle, but then he explains why he's after her. And she allows him to help her release what's left of the girlfriend's spirit so that she can have the body for herself, because it's the reason why at that point her powers were manifesting in that little butterfly thing. And that was his girlfriend's thing. And he was like, look, I can't get you out this body, but you need to let her have what's left of her soul. In fact, the girlfriend is dead, so he releases what's left of her soul. And he's like, okay.
He thought.
Girlfriend was in Betsy's body.
Like, he went off to like, okay, I've done that. I'm not gonna mess with you. I'm gonna just, I knowing she's gonna be at peace is going to give me peace. And he goes back off to his thing, and it was like, ooh, a male Shaw not being an asshole. Yay.
Well, by that time, Dad's dead.
Yeah, because Shinobi Shaw is the son of Sebastian Shaw.
And what Shinobi did to Sebastian was not pretty.
I did not see that part of it, but I knew Sebastian because, he used to be king of the Hellfire Club.
Still is.
No, he's
No,
dead.
Sebastian is dead.
No,
Sebastian's
he's not
dead.
dead. Sebastian's not dead. He's back.
So okay. So when they did this so-called reboot of the X-Men for this modern generation, because they changed a lot of stuff,
They brought back Sebastian. They brought back Sebastian Shaw.
they brought back Sebastian, but Shinobi was still around, and Shinobi is, and the whole thing about him and Shinobi is still there. They can't stand one another.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
that at least I did know he really hated his dad.
Now, he came back and got revenge on Shinobi because before I got rid of all my X-Men books, I had the issue where he came back and beat the brakes off of his son.
No, no.
Temporarily. He temporarily
Shinobi,
beat the brakes out off of him.
I'm not a
From
Shinobi
my
fan,
recollection, it was
but
a temporary thing. He did get his so-called revenge,
right?
but
And
he couldn't end Shinobi.
Yeah.
He beat the brakes off of him, but he didn't end him like Shinobi ended him. Shinobi ended Sebastian.
He didn't end him that well. It got better.
I wasn't that happy with Shinobi because of what he does, but the fact that he goes to her and it's like, I'm not here to kill you. I'm not here to make your life miserable. I just want to release what's left of her soul and see it be at peace. That's it. And it's like, okay, a Shaw with a bit of honor. I can deal. Okay, he might still be an asshole, but he's got a bit of honor in that regard. I'm okay with that. Now you just had to ruin my day. Now I gotta go and I gotta bite somebody. That means I gotta go in that room, grab that 6 foot tall child.
Now it's 9.
And he gonna kill me. When the news comes out that I was strangled because I tried to bite him on the neck, just remember, you did this. You did this. Anyway, it's 9 o'clock and I have not eaten. And
yep, it's time for her to have her nourishments.
I need, and all my ham is gone. I made a lovely ham, shank ham, and it's gone. These children have destroyed it. There's no my ham left. You seem happy. Did I please you with losing my ham?
No,
now he's not talking to me.
No, I'm just thinking to myself, it's like, did you enjoy the sweet potato pie?
Yes, I did.
You had a whole.
One of
my friends,
I didn't get to eat it all.
Brought me. It was like, okay, get you some of this. It's like, no, instead of just getting you some here.
I just took it.
I was like, I don't really eat sweet potato pie, but here you go. Like, you can have the whole thing.
Sweet potato pie. I got the sweet potato pie. Except then I got home and realized I wasn't the only one looking for sweet potato pie. So, which I think was like vengeance because I made a whole peach cobbler and it went away. Because
did I ever tell you all the story about the time that my beautiful wife Micah, when we were dating, almost never made it back for another date involving sweet potatoes?
Why?
No.
We've been dating a couple of months, and we decided to go to dinner with my parents.
Oh no!
To a local catfish place down here.
Ew.
In Mississippi, we love us some catfish.
Catfish got too many bones. Every time I eat catfish, I choke on a bone.
That's because nobody knows how to cook it wherever you go. I ain't never had.
I'm about to get ready to take it. I had worse. I have worse fish that have a lot more bones than catfish.
But I choke on the bone. Catfish wants to kill me.
My dad loves this restaurant because he could get a loaded baked sweet potato with brown butter and sugar and cinnamon and just, oh my God. And they brought it out there.
Hold on. Oh baby. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. TVMA was on. Good.
They brought it out and sat down, and he started eating, and he was like, looked over at Mike and goes, he for some reason, because he's Southern, and if you ever seen King of the Hill and know who Boomhauer is, he
Yep.
kind of sounded like Boomhauer, and he wouldn't call her Micah. He would say Michael. He's like, now Michael, you gotta try some of this here now. This is some damn good stuff right here.
Oh no!
And
Oh, no. Well, no, there. In his defense, there was a female actress named Michael Learned, and she
oh,
spelled
he
it
just called.
Micael. So
See, I got it from him. We just
Che.
call people about whatever name comes to mind.
Oh goodness!
And she took a bite of it, and she was like, "That's really good." And she sat there, and we're eating our meal. She was sitting there looking at it. Thought about a minute. She looked at my dad. She goes, "How did they get the sweet in it?"
Was it a cartoon? Was it a cartoon where you saw all the blood go to his head and he was about to get ready to explode?
No, he just put his fork down and looked at her, and he goes, "Damn," because she's never had a sweet potato before, and she didn't.
Oh, so she
Yeah,
didn't know that cooked the right way. They just come that way.
yeah. So that was almost the last time I ever saw her because I was like, well, I liked this one. Never mind now.
Oh no!
But yes.
Well, hug her for me. Hug my girls. I did you not read the letter that I sent with the stuff?
Sure.
He's laughing.
So walked by and gave me the finger.
Oh goodness, you gonna get yourself killed. Did you read the letter I included with the stuff for the girls?
Yes, it was very
Okay.
sweet. Yes, thank you.
But I told them not to hurt you because you would be helpful in helping them beat up boys.
They don't care. Their dark power has grown, so they're happy.
The youngest one is essentially hit girl already.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was thinking of giving them a few assignments over the summer, art wise
Okay.
and book wise, but I wanted to ask you and Micah if that was okay
Yeah,
first.
sure.
Okay.
If they make it
Um,
that far, because Grayson has a week left to finish reading A Wrinkle in Time, or I'm going to snatch her inside out. So,
is she not enjoying the book?
mm-mm.
What
She
part
mainly
is
doesn't
she?
enjoy the fact that I'm telling her what to read. So,
Ah, okay. I think I might be able to have. I think I might have a list of books that and movies that she might find. Um, how is Grayson is the 9-year-old, right?
11.
11. Okay, I have to wait at least 2 years before she's ready for a company of wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Because the little girl in that movie is the lead child in that movie is 13.
If you wait 2 years, I may sell her to a company of wolves. But we'll see.
Okay. I like I said, I will
Mhm.
I've got a letter to put out for I don't know what happened. I just suddenly got bumped up. I got a letter to put out to Kelly
Mhm.
because she and I were talking about a few things about comic books for kids.
Oh,
And
did
we
you
had
get to see the video that I put out there?
I didn't get to see the video, but I will watch it. Um,
Because the video, you was there. You saw the whole
yeah,
award ceremony.
we were part of it. No, after doing that, I made a few notes. I noticed a few things, and she and I had a short conversation. And now that I've gotten personal things kind of more settled, and I need to get my taxes done this weekend, I'm going to send her a proposal that, with her permission, will present to them because there are some things I think they need to focus on now that will ensure that 10 years from now they'll still be around. But after I get that done, I will send y'all a list in the chat for you to look at, and you can say this is crap. This is
Okay.
It's not like do you have to do these. I was just thinking, um, maybe if I started suggesting, a couple of art,
Mhm.
a couple of things for her to watch and do, that might be
Mhm.
helpful.
Okay. All
And
right.
it'll keep her from beating up on you at least for a few hours every day.
I appreciate that.
I'm doing my best.
All right. So you ready? You ready, Elaine?
I'm ready. Thank y'all for being here. We hope we put in enough comic book talk now that I know that Dick Grayson's just a great big old man whore. That I will never get over that. I'm just, it's sad. Anyway, thanks for being here. We appreciate you. We appreciate you taking out the time to sit with us, whether you're live or whether you watch us later. Doesn't matter. You took the time to be here. And that touches us. That lets us know that, whether it's 2 or 200, we're doing our job. So I'm Elaine. Find me at lenscaponline.com. You can find me here YouTube at Elaine Haygood. I'm at Facebook. I'm on my website. You can find my author page for now on Amazon. Hopefully, if things go well, I will get this book one stuff settled and with Ingram Spark or someone, and we can have it so people can order it. If not, I will. I still have C2E2 copy stuff that I'm thinking we might sell directly. But in the meantime, be good to each other, be good to yourselves, and if you're going to cannibalize your neighbors, don't leave, don't leave evidence that it was you. Okay? Take care. Bye.
And there's Cliff.
Hey, now, thank you for joining us. I hope we entertained you or creeped you out or both. Join us next week when we discuss the love life of Dick Grayson. Until then, thank you. Come again.
And that brings us to this episode is brought to you by our friends over there at Plasma Fire Graphics. If you need a great cover for your book, your graphic novel, your comic book, whatever your needs is, have Jeffrey Hayes, an award-winning graphic artist who have won several Pulp Factory awards for his covers for all of these novels for Stormgate Press here. Have him to do your next cover. If you don't believe how great his covers are, take a gander at this.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
Did you really pay attention to those covers that was in that video? He could do the exact same thing for you. So just hit Jeffrey Hayes up at plasmafiregraphics.com or his Facebook group for Plasma Fire Graphics here. As far as I'm concerned, I'll be back here Saturday. Saturday is going to be a little bit different here. And thanks to the fact that polls are working correctly, I got a question for you to answer in a poll coming up in this Saturday here. And this is going to be dealing more so with my personal collection and everything here. So it's going to be kind of fun. The question is going to be fun and everything. We got a lot of other stuff to talk about here. We got new comic book pickups for the week here. we got to get back rocking and rolling into production here. So I got a couple of updates to talk to you guys about here. Plus, there's other nonsense that have been happening here that I just sit back and maybe it's going to be one of those episodes where I'm going to be like, here are some topics that might get me canceled again. But until then, unlike our founder Brian K. Morris, I don't care if you wash your hands, but never, and I do mean never, apologize for being awesome. As I would say, live life, grow, be well, and we're out of here for another episode of Comic Book Spectrum. See you guys next Thursday, and I hope that you have a great rest of your Thursday here, and hope to see you on Saturday. Bye.